It's been a real ride, and it's going to be really quiet without him around.
We're hearing from the family of an Edmond man hit and killed by a car while riding his bike. I'm Lacie Lowry. Coming up at 6 o'clock, his family remembers the many hats he wore to serve the community.
I'm Colby Thelen. As the government shutdown enters day 9, there are concerns growing over Oklahoma's WIC and SNAP programs. Officials say they could start seeing some issues. What is the federal government planning to do to mitigate those issues? It's coming up.
And I'm Lisa Monahan in for Robin Marsh. More than 30 teachers' licenses are in question, including a high-profile murder suspect and a coach accused of abuse. The heavy agenda greeting the new state superintendent for his first board meeting this morning.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good morning. It's 6 a.m. on your Thursday morning. Sometimes we call it Friday Junior, though that's become a controversial phrase.
Friday Eve, maybe?
Friday Eve. Okay, it doesn't matter.
I like Friday Eve.
We're nearing the end of the week. That's what matters, folks. But it's going to be warm again. It's getting to the point where like the whole month of October might be above average. That's the way it
Absolutely, yeah. Warming things up, cranking it up. Let's get over to Lacey Swope in the Bob Mills Weather Center. That cold front didn't last long, Lace.
It was here and now it's gone. And now the south wind is definitely prevailing, and that is going to help heat us up. Ridge of high pressure is going to build in, shut rain chances down for several days. And really, as we look ahead through much of next week, this is the forecast. Above average, especially for Oklahoma and down into Texas, which means if you are headed down to the OU Texas game, it's going to be in the 90s. We'll have more on your football forecasts in a minute. As you're heading out early on your Thursday morning, our Lucky Star Sky Cam network, a little light haze, little light fog settling in. 64 degrees is the temperature. A little bit thicker fog down near Ardmore and also back into western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle, but it's pretty isolated. This is not widespread, and we still have a chance over the next couple of hours of more fog settling in. Winds aren't completely calm. If your winds go calm or light, that's where the fog will be. But most of us do have a 5 to 10 mile an hour breeze. Temps are in the 50s, lower mid 60s as you're heading out. A warmer start this morning, and we are climbing back to the low 80s today. Average highs are in the mid 70s. We are above that, so get ready for even warmer temperatures. Hot and windy for the big weekend, and then rain chances return when we see the pattern change. That's coming up.
Lacey, thanks. Let's get to your top stories this morning. More police are looking for a 92-year-old man who hasn't been seen since yesterday. Here's his picture right here. Take a look. Oklahoma Highway Patrol says Horace Powashik was maybe driving a maroon 2015 Dodge Durango, like this car seen here. They say that he suffers from the beginning stages of Alzheimer's, so if you see him, call 911.
It's been a real ride, and it's going to be really quiet without him around.
Heartbreak for a Metro family this morning. Their loved one is hit and killed by a car during his morning bike ride in Edmond. Charles Rimple, known by the kids as Mr. Charlie, was riding home from Panera Bread Tuesday morning when the crash happened near Broadway and Covell. His wife tells us he wore many hats throughout his life. He owned a fireworks shop. He taught 5th and 6th graders. He even became a foster parent, and most recently, he just retired as a school bus driver for Deer Creek Public Schools.
Then he started riding his 20 miles a day after he retired, and his destination always was somewhere where he could get a cup of coffee and something to eat.
A memorial service for Mr. Charlie will be held at 10:30 Monday morning at Faith Bible Church in Edmond. It is open to the public.
Well, right now, Oklahoma City police are investigating reports of a gun pulled near an Oklahoma City school bus. The district says the bus driver first reported someone following the bus along its route and then later spotted what was believed to be a gun near a stop at Northwest 122nd and Walker. Officers say there was some sort of dispute that involved both parents and students. They're now working to determine whether shots were fired during that scuffle. They say no one was hurt. And Oklahoma lawmakers expected to review DHS case files involving a Canadian county family whose son was forced into medical care by the state.
It was cancer treatment. The 17-year-old has leukemia. News 9's Sylvia Corkill tells us what legislators now hope to accomplish.
We know that there's some shortfalls that need to be addressed, and the best way for us as a body of legislators to address this is to get our nose under the tent so we can determine how best to fix the policies that are in place at DHS so that cases like this never happen again.
Last week, Representative Jay Stegall and others denounced DHS after learning a 17-year-old battling leukemia was stripped from the care of his mother and his naturopathic doctor. DHS accused Dana Mooney of medical negligence and petitioned the courts for emergency custody that was granted.
This has brought to surface a lot of stories from other Oklahomans who have had nightmares of their own happen with their interactions with DHS.
In DHS custody, Mooney family advocate Roberta Lewis says the teen was forced to undergo multiple rounds of treatments against his will and his mother's.
You lay them down at night and you promise, I will protect you. I'll be the one to protect you, and I will look after you, and I will make these decisions in your best interest. And in a blink of an eye, your own government can make a liar out of you.
Tuesday, House Speaker Kyle Hilbert granted Stegall permission to access confidential DHS records from the Mooney case for the sole purpose of improving policies.
We want to take a look at this from a legislative perspective to make sure that we can make the best policy decisions possible.
While he's prevented from sharing case information, he says the details could lead to policy changes.
You know, what happens when a call comes in from an anonymous tipper, for example? What does this process look like when a DHS caseworker does go visit a home? What kind of information are they required to have on hand before they make an accusation, in this case, to make a statement that a mother is unfit?
Sylvia Corgill, Oklahoma Zone, News 9.
Now, we did reach out to DHS for comment. The department declined. In a statement earlier this week, the agency, though, said it's part of a larger child protection system and cannot act independently.
We are hearing from the attorney of a Metro woman who was denied early release from prison under the Oklahoma Survivors Act, which gives relief to victims of domestic violence. Taisha Long is serving a 27-year sentence for shooting and killing her ex-boyfriend in 2020. She claimed he abused her and she acted out of self-defense. Well, a judge denied her early release, saying Long doesn't meet the Survivor Act's substantial contributing factor standard. Her attorney calls this decision devastating.
Not to acquit people or give them a sort of get out of jail free card, but to start considering mitigating factors where it relates to the length of the sentence. We do this in federal court all the time. It's done in other states. It's done across the board.
The attorney says she plans to appeal. She also says of the 4 women in Oklahoma who have been in court for Survivors Act hearings, 3 have been denied resentencing.
6:07 on your Thursday morning. If you feel like you're in a bit of a fog as we inch toward the weekend, well, you might actually really be in a fog. Megan Gold standing by watching the roads for us this morning, how it could impact the morning drive. Megan.
Hey, Lisa, that's right. We are watching for a little bit of fog. We have seen some develop out in the Texas Panhandle. So watching for that mainly out into western Oklahoma. So if you're traveling I-40 west to the Texas state line, just a heads up, this is what visibility could look like as we go into about the 7 o'clock hour. But as of right now, all of our visibility readings are okay. Of course, it's a great fall morning start to the day on the warmer side, and our humidity is up and our winds are just up enough that I don't think we have big widespread fog issues. Here's the Broadway extension. Notice a little bit of haze there, but if you're headed southbound into Oklahoma City right now, good to go. Out by Tinker, I-40 and Air Depot looks great. Not hearing of any accidents, really no slowdowns right now. I know it's early here at 6:08 here on your Thursday morning, but all across the metro, your highways are free of any slowdowns and your drive times into Oklahoma City are good to go from all directions.
Megan, thank you. Well, it is day 9 of the government shutdown, and if this continues, Oklahoma's WIC program could be interrupted. Without a new bill to fund the federal government, WIC services, which helps low-income families with women and children in need, get the services that they need, and it could run out of money by the end of the month. Oklahoma's case is unique, though, because many tribal nations administer their own WIC programs. Services have not stopped yet.
Each one will actually be in a slightly different situation based on if they have carryover funds to help float their program more or if they make other decisions.
Well, now the Trump administration says that they plan to divert tariff revenue to fund WIC and food aid. It's unclear if he has the authority to do so.
And with park rangers furloughed during the shutdown, family members and survivors of the Murrah building bombing are stepping in as tour guides at the Oklahoma City National Memorial. Tara Sweet's one of them. Her father was killed in the bombing, and she led a special tour for students at Hennessy High.
so important to me that people come here and learn the effects of political violence. And there's so many lessons to be learned from April 19th, 1995.
And Sarah says that she'll be coming back to give more tours at the memorial.
If that's not the Oklahoma Standard literally on display at the memorial this morning. I love that they're so eager too. They're saying, hey, we have people wanting to hear the story. I will step up and tell it, because you have to keep telling the next generations.
Yeah, and she was mentioning that she goes and visits the chairman for her father often, and when they asked her to do it, she's like, yeah, I'm going to be there anyway. So yeah, I'll step in and give a tour.
No, I love
what a perspective.
That. It's a nice story to the shutdown for sure.
Absolutely. Let's turn now to the Bob Mills Weather Center. A lot to talk about here toward the end of the week. Maybe some changes. When are they coming? Let's talk to Lacey about what you need to know before you go. Lacey?
Good morning. Here at the Bob Mills Weather Center, the changes, well, they're already underway, and it's a warming trend that we're tracking. Temperatures are 5 to 10 degrees warmer than they were at this time yesterday morning. We're in the 60s. We'll be in the upper 60s by 10 a.m. Now, that's still relatively cool. It is nice. Some light fog, sunrise, still not until 7:30 this morning. How hot are we for the weekend? We'll get to that, and when that next cold front hits, it's coming up.
For the first time, we are hearing from the family of a security guard who was killed while taking down a shooter inside an Enid hospital. In just a few moments, how they plan to keep his legacy alive. It's going to be a good morning at the bus stop this morning.
Yeah, yesterday I picked up the kids from school. We just had this conversation. It's cooler.
Yeah.
You might have gotten some winter clothes, but like at the beginning of the school year, and if your kids grow a lot, who knows if those pants are gonna fit? They fit, but like I picked up my kid from school, I was like, those are pretty tight.
You're growing.
Who sent you to school in those skinny jeans there, buddy?
So my kid is like ready for a flood,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Look, we might have a couple more weeks to get those wintertime gear ready. I don't know, but
I don't know how you buy anything in advance for young kids. It's like,
do it.
yes, it's hard. It's very, very difficult. And right now, it is more of the summer type clothes that they need, that's for sure. So head to the bus stop. It's dry across Oklahoma. It is warm. Now, temps are in the lower mid 60s, and this afternoon we'll be warming into the 80s. Really, it feels pleasant. And I feel like the little kids never even notice what the temperature is. So it's going to be very, very nice. Clear skies, lots of sunshine today. We have a little bit of fog settling in this morning, so we'll have a chance for a few patchy clouds as we start off the morning, but we are dry completely for your bus stop forecast. Speaking of bus stop forecast, next week is fall break. It's in 4 days. Average temperatures are in the 70s. Typically, it's pumpkin patches. It's carving pumpkins. It's enjoying all the fall festivities across Oklahoma during fall break. It's not going to feel anywhere near the 70s for afternoon highs. Halloween's 22 days away. Thanksgiving only 49 days, and that's when we're typically in the 50s for afternoon highs. But the forecast for this week and really even into next week is above average. All the red and orange on the map is locations across the United States if you are traveling for fall break where we will be above average. Now, it'll be about typical on the East Coast or below average into California if you're trying to get into some much, much cooler temps. As far as precip goes, it is looking drier than average, especially as we head through the end of next week. We have some rain chances early next week. I don't want to discount that, and we're hoping those chances get a little bit higher. As of right now, they're still at about 30%, but we're watching it. We are dry up and down the plains, no precip, which is what we need. We need the rain. We need the moisture. Lucky Star Sky Chem Network, we've got a little bit of light fog out there. That's our Mathis home cam, by the way. Traffic is just now starting to pick up a little bit there at our I-40 and I-44 interchange. 64 is the temperature. Megan will let you know about any accidents or any slowdowns coming up in a minute. It's 7-mile visibility in Oklahoma City, which is great, but it is down some, and that's why you're seeing that little bit of light haze. Patchy fog is going to be possible through the morning. There'll be a couple of areas where it could become dense, and where we have the most widespread fog that we're expecting will be into western Oklahoma, but it's not a blanket of fog at the moment. Winds are still about 5 to 10 miles per hour. They're much stronger in the Panhandle, gusting to 20. Temperatures in the 50s, the low 60s. You're at a cool 62 in Stillwater, 58 in Fairview, 61 in Hobart, Cheyenne, 64, Medford, 59, and then upper 60s down near Sulphur and down into the mountains. It's 79 degrees at 1 o'clock. 83 is our forecast high coming up by 4 p.m. It will be in the mid-upper 80s into western Oklahoma. South winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour. A little gusty for folks in the west. As this ridge of high pressure keeps building up, we see warming temperatures all the way through your Sunday. Now, Monday and Tuesday, we'll have more clouds. A cold front coming in from the north. It's weak. I think get stalled somewhere in northern Oklahoma on Monday, but that will bring temperatures down some. We'll have 70s and low 80s coming up on Monday, and a few scattered shower and storm chances that we'll be monitoring. Then we heat up towards the middle to end of next week, and around Friday or Saturday, the timing's still not completely pinned down, between the 17th, the 18th, or even the 19th of October, our next storm approaches. And the scenario, if it were to play out like this, would be a severe weather threat. So we've got to watch that, and that's very common in the middle to end of October. The jet stream winds really ramp up. We could even introduce a tornado threat if this thing starts looking a little bit more mean, gets more teeth to it. And we'll let you know if that starts to occur. Now, by the 20th, the start of that next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're talking the following week, temperatures are still close to average, but slightly above normal. And above normal is what you're going to hear us say on repeat over the next several days. Lows and highs. Lows tonight, 50s and low 60s. Tomorrow, here's your Friday, upper 80s, a few low 90s. And then as we head into your Saturday, check out your temps, upper 80s, low 90s. And if you're heading up to Stillwater, cheering on the Pokes, we're talking 70s for tailgating, warming into the mid-upper 80s during the game. And down in Dallas, for all the folks tailgating, celebrating for the Cotton Bowl, if you're in the Cotton Bowl, my goodness, sunshine and 92. It won't stop, folks. Just make sure you're cheering responsibly. Sunscreen, hydrate, do all the things. Sunday, upper 80s, low 90s, and the winds do pick up on Sunday. It'll be breezy. Then clouds build in. We'll introduce rain opportunities Monday and Tuesday, and that next front arrives Friday of next week. Back to you guys.
Lacey, thank you. Newly appointed State Superintendent Lyndall Fields will tackle a heavy agenda for his first week with the Board of Education. It's meeting today, a special meeting. More than 30 teachers' licenses are in question. That includes a high-profile murder suspect, Andrew McGann. Let's go to Kylie Dedman. She joins us live in the newsroom right now with what's on the agenda for this special meeting. What will it consist of, Kylie?
Colby, Lyndall Fields says his goal is not political, but foundational. Several issues will be discussed at this morning's special State Board of Education meeting, including money for textbooks and possible exemption for library media services. Also on the agenda is the emergency and voluntary suspension of multiple teaching licenses. More than 30 teaching licenses are up for suspension. Now, that includes a former Broken Arrow and Sand Springs teacher, Andrew McGann. Now, he is charged with capital murder for the killing of a couple at a state park in Arkansas just a few months back. Fields also has shared with us his 15-month detailed roadmap for his tenure, emphasizing communication, collaboration, and stability.
In our first 10 days, which is a communication focus. Throughout the next 15 months, we'll start with communication, relationships, alignment, execution, and then ultimately build capacity in our last few months for the incoming superintendent.
Another major agenda item will be looking at teachers with suspended licenses who have been getting paid as substitutes until they are reinstated. Now, that's something former Superintendent Ryan Walters refused to discuss. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
And this morning's special meeting starts at 9:30. By the way, you can watch it live. Just head right over to news9.com.
Meteorologist Megan Gold is watching the roads and the traffic for us this morning. Let's head over to her. What you got, Megan?
Hey, got a couple views out the door right now. This is I-40 in May. Those of you coming in from the west side, looks good there. The hustle and bustle starting to pick up here of our Thursday morning commute. Broadway extension to 235, no problems there. And then down on the south side, I-35 and Robinson. Of course, that'll be a heavily traveled spot here in the coming days. There are two crashes. One that I want to point out down on the south side in northbound lanes of I-44 at 104th Street. It's kind of hard to see, but this is from our OCCC camera. A little bit of a backup start. It's just heads up. That is, again, in the northbound lanes of I-44. I'll have more for you coming up here in a few minutes.
Fascinating story for you here. New technology helping scientists learn more about a dwindling species, and now you can tag along. The Oklahoma City Zoo is using solar-powered tags to track the migration of some monarch butterflies. These Bluetooth tags will send real-time updates, allowing scientists to learn about their patterns. The monarch population has dropped by 90% in the past 30 years. You can watch the butterfly's journey on the Project Monarch Science app.
This is cool.
And I highly recommend you check out Colby's special that you did on their migration and the dwindling population.
Yeah, it's over at news9.com. And the video there was Dr. Emily Guest. She's with the Oklahoma City Zoo.
Whoa.
We're actually going to be heading there today to talk to her about how this
fun.
works exactly and how they do the tagging, because it's really important to understand just how they're migrating, the numbers.
So cool they're doing that. And they're moving right now.
They are.
Seeing the Monarchs?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, it's beautiful.
They are so beautiful. Every time you want to take a picture of it, try to capture it. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Something very cool this time of year when you get to the mornings and the evening, guys. The deer motion is starting to really pick up as well. Heads up to drivers. They get a little bit rowdy. These does, especially when it comes to food or bucks nearby. Yeah, it looks like a bar fight happening there. But they do this. It's very common that they'll stand up on their hind legs. Merlin sent us this picture from a trail cam that was taken just before hunting season started. It has been so hot. It's been dry. We need moisture across Oklahoma to help with the food plots, to help with the farm ponds. That is for sure. And we don't have much rain showing up over the next several days. There are plenty of acorns on the ground. The deer are feasting on those like crazy after how wet it was over the spring. Winds are up today for the folks heading into the field. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Some gusts to 25 in the northwest. And we'll continue with the south breeze tonight and tomorrow. Temps will be in the low 80s with sunny skies this afternoon. More on how hot it'll be for the weekend. That is coming up after this break.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
6:30, good morning, Oklahoma. It is a Thursday. There's a live look at the Oklahoma City National Memorial on the Lucky Star Skycam network. It's beautiful, it's lit up, and right now, family members of people who died during the bombing are actually giving the tours at the memorial because of the furloughs from the federal shutdown. So we're sharing that story this morning, and we just wanted to take a live look at that as well.
Who better to get a tour from than people that really understand what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Notice also, did you notice it's a little hazy there on the side of the camera shot as you're coming through downtown this morning?
Yeah, you're doing this number. It's like, am I feeling foggy from the work week, or is there actually fog out there? Let's head over to Lacey Swope at the Bob Mills Weather Center for the latest.
Yeah, again this morning, there's some light fog settling in. You'll notice that, not really impacting visibility too much on the roadways. It's not thick enough that it's really going to impact your drive, at least not right now. Look at the temperatures. That's what you'll notice as you step out this morning, as the kiddos are heading out to school. We've got 60s and even Dallas is at 72. Bismarck, North Dakota, 46. They had 20s and low 30s earlier this week. So now that south wind is riding up the plains and bringing those warmer temps in. There is a look of some of that fog, little cloud cover overhead on our Lucky Star Skycam network. That shot's from Blanchard. At Will Rogers, we're at 64, and there's still a chance for much of the state. You drive in and out of a little light fog. A little more dense fog is possible in our western counties. You'll notice from Cheyenne to Sayre, Mangum, Willow, Hobart, back to Hollis, winds are light to calm. That's where the fog could become more of a problem for drivers. 50s, lower mid 60s. Those are your temps at 65 in Ardmore. Sulphur, you're at 66 versus the low 50s up in Kate County. Afternoon temperatures in the lower mid, upper 80s and a south breeze today at 10 to 20 miles per hour. If you're heading to downtown Oklahoma City for the Big Thunder game, playing at home this evening, tip-off is at 7. Temps will be in the upper 70s. Will fall down into the low 70s by 10 p.m. More on this warming trend and what to expect for your weekend coming up.
Oklahoma City Police released the body camera video and Air One chopper video from a sting operation targeting thieves who follow people from the ATM. Oklahoma City Police say the suspects right here followed an undercover officer from a bank to a convenience store, then broke into the officer's car looking for the cash. That's when other officers swarmed in to arrest. The video pretty intense. Officers say these are the suspects. They actually took off running at one point, but police got them. Both men are now booked in jail for third-degree burglary. A big reminder this morning, police say be aware of your surroundings when you're leaving a bank or the ATM, and always hide your cash.
Now with everything that's happened, even more, I want to be just like my dad. I want to leave a legacy.
For the first time, we are hearing from the family of J.W. Bodie. He's the security guard who died taking down a gunman inside an Enid hospital back in August.
Yeah, the family sat down with News 9's Haley Hetrick in an interview you'll see only on 9.
He was a very ornery man. He was a very caring man.
Remembering J.W. Bodie.
He was just my dad. And then that one.
Now Shay and Sandy hold tight to the memories.
I'm doing okay, and I feel like I get to see little glimpses of my dad every day.
Shay calls them God winks.
My faith has definitely gotten me through the hard parts of it.
The same goes for her cousin Sandy.
I have a very strong faith. When I waver a little bit in that, I can feel a spirit within me. It's almost like a fatherly voice that says, hey, I was where I needed to be. I did what I needed to do to protect those people.
J.W. Bodie was killed when a shooter opened fire inside of an Enid hospital.
Huge shock.
He was working as a security guard and died trying to take down the shooter.
They told me minimum 25 other people could have been injured or lost their life.
J.W. died a hero.
Very hard to lose someone in that manner. But he had trained all of his life.
Working to honor his life and legacy, they worked with the hospital to create the Captain Care Bear Memorial Fund.
My mom had made a laundry bag that was red, had a white cord, and a white Care Bear on the back, and my dad decided it would be funny to wear it as a cape.
A way to honor everything J.W. was.
And I just tell him that I love him and that I'm proud of him.
And if they could talk to him just one more time.
That I miss him, but I hope that he's proud of what has happened since. God has a bigger plan for this, and that a lot of good will come out of it eventually.
For Oklahoma's Own, I'm Haley Hetrick.
And the Memorial Fund is raising money for hospital patients who can't afford the care they need. It's also expanding care and support for children facing mental health challenges. We have a link to that. It's over on our website, news9.com.
A Lincoln County man is charged with manslaughter for a crash that killed an 11-month-old baby. Investigators believe 31-year-old Michael Figueroa was intoxicated and driving recklessly when he caused the 3-car crash. It happened between Hera and Meeker in August. Now, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says the child passed away at that scene. 2 other people were also hurt. Their names have not been released, but Figueroa is due in court next week.
6:36 your time right now. Meteorologist Megan Gold watching the roads for us this morning. And Megan, it looks like you're following something on the northbound side of I-44 this morning.
I am, yeah. The northbound lanes are also known as the eastbound lanes of I-44 down on the southwest side. This is at 104th Street. This is our OCCC camera, and this is as zoomed in as I can get it for you. But notice all the headlights. Those are the northbound lane cars, and it's a little congested there. So if you are down on the southwest side, and that includes your morning kind of commute, just keep that in mind. A few extra minutes out the door would not be a bad idea. That is our only crash on the highway right now. We've also got a crash up on Sooner that is off of the highway. Now, just off to the east from that spot, starting to see quite a bit of congestion on I-35 in the northbound lanes. No crashes there, but just what you would expect for this time of morning. And there is that slowdown. So just a heads up as you do hit the roads this morning, few extra minutes would not be a bad idea. Guys, back to you.
All right, Megan, thank you. Oklahoma is facing a major shortage of court reporters with 72 openings of the total 191 positions statewide. Some counties, in fact, don't even have reporters at all, and that's causing trial delays. Court reporters are vital since they create official case reports. One veteran reporter launched a volunteer reporter bank to support understaffed counties. And she told a judicial committee Wednesday that Oklahoma's $53,000 starting pay is low compared to other states.
If you can drive across the Texas state line and get $40,000 and $50,000 or more, why would you not do it?
State lawmakers are exploring new legislation that would boost salaries and attract more court reporters.
We are so excited about this one. Our next Oklahoma City Thunder game broadcasting tonight on our KSBI Channel 52. This means Griffin Media bringing you a free broadcast so you can watch the Thunder game. Okay, it's a preseason game. It's the Paycom Center home game against the Charlotte Hornets. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. We're so excited about this. Again, it's our sister channel 52 KSBI. So excited about that. We'll also have a pre and post game show before and after the game. All things Thunder. And guys, this is one of 7 games News 9 is broadcasting this season for the Thunder.
That's super fun.
I know. They're hard to get. They're hard to come by. So we're pumped about it.
It's also one of those things where it feels like the basketball season just ended, but that's what happens when you win a championship. The offseason is much shorter.
For folks going downtown, they may want to give a little extra time, too, because of the construction happening as they build the new arena.
The new Thunder Arena. That's right.
Yeah, we deal with it every morning on our way to work, Lacey.
It's hard to notice in the middle of the night. There's never anyone downtown. We're coming in, Colby. What are you talking about?
Well, there's the gates up, the fence, there's
We
some road
noticed
closures,
it. Okay,
some
with
lane
our eyes.
closures.
We
Yes.
do see it. I see where you're going.
Some of us go the wrong way to pull into the parking garage. Not mentioning any
Guilty.
names.
Okay. We have a little fog this morning, guys, but that will be long gone by the time we get into the evening as you're heading out to tackle your commute. In the Bob Mills Weather Center, we're watching that. You'll notice temperatures in the 50s, the 60s. They are warmer than they were yesterday. Highs will be warmer as well. We'll get into your full forecast for your Thursday and how hot we are this weekend coming up.
And here at News 9, we also want to recognize teachers for the impact they make in the classroom.
That's right. Today we are honoring Kaida Willits, an algebra and geometry teacher at Classen SAS Middle School. The person who nominated her says she deeply loves and cares for her students, and they've never seen her in a bad mood.
We love you, Mrs. Willits. All right, do you know an educator doing great things in the classroom? Nominate them right now. It's our impactful teacher. Just go to news9.com/teacher. Back after this.
Tornado sirens are going off. So he's like, hey, hustle, everybody kind of get in the car. And we were going to go over to the concrete restroom, shower, bathhouse thing. And I remember my stepmother's just panicking, trying to get in the car and turn it on and whatever. And this funnel comes over the top of us. And it's 3/4 of the way to the ground. It's, it right over the top of us.
In the morning?
Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Hit a campground, hit some campers. There were some people hurt pretty bad. It takes a truck and a camper and puts it in the lake.
Well, how about that? What an experience. That is Hank Brown talking about. I lost my mic. There we are. That's Hank Brown talking about his experience as a kid. It's the next episode of Beyond the Forecast. In fact, Hank and Patty talk about their experiences chasing as well, even a little bit of racing, which is cool. That episode is coming out today at 3. So if you scan the QR code at 3 o'clock today, that can take you to our News 9 Weather YouTube channel. So you don't want to miss it again, 3 p.m. today. That'll take you right there. And some cool, it's a fascinating story.
All the stories they could tell. That's just one of so many.
They have been chasing for decades here for News 9, and they're so experienced, husband and wife pair, so their stories are from different perspectives, and they're just amazing because they live it. I mean, during the 2013 Moore tornado, their family was directly impacted. Hank was chasing for News 9, and then he knew that this was heading right towards his family.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and his stories are just amazing, just like all of our storm trackers, and we were excited to talk to them. David sat down with them, and that'll be on our YouTube page later today.
I love it. You guys finally have time to just sit and chat because there's so many stories. Viewers don't get to hear them all the time because you got to track the storm.
Exactly.
So this is, hey, we have time to chat now.
And we're excited for this opportunity going forward, especially once the weather does pick up again, because it will.
Yeah.
It will. It's Oklahoma, and right now we have all the time to talk about, the past, but we'll be getting into more details about upcoming forecasts on that podcast and then kind of breaking down storm chases.
Awesome.
Is the plan.
Love it.
Yeah.
No storm chases right now.
No, I was going to say, yeah. This is, in fact, it's a little bit calm.
Are you bored?
Out there.
It's awful.
Boring?
It's awful. I come in every morning and I'm like, Megan, what are we doing?
What's there to talk about?
No, it's good. It's dry though. We need rain, and we're talking about a warming trend, which you do need to know about. If you're making plans and you got fall festivities in the works, have at it. But you're gonna be sweating it out at the pumpkin patch, okay? We're talking temperatures in the 80s, the 90s, and that brings us to football, which is on Saturday. OSU playing at home, taking on Houston. Temps will be in the 70s, warming up to the mid-upper 80s. Down in Texas, of course, the big OU-Texas game. And I just realized on this graphic, our Longhorn is facing the wrong direction somehow. We've got 80s. It should be into the low 90s with sunshine. Halftime, 92 degrees is what we are expecting. It's going to be hot in the Cotton Bowl. Now, speaking of the heat, well, start thinking about fall. The leaves will eventually start to follow suit. The leaves change is driven by the sunlight and the lack of it, not the temperature. So even though we're warm, we'll start to get a little color. You can kind of see some of the elms have a little yellow to them. Some of the maples have a little red to them. The aspen now are at peak or past peak in the Rockies, and on the East Coast and the mountains starting to get a little bit of that beautiful color as well. Now by next week, you'll notice the map changes drastically, especially to the north. Typically it's not until, bless you Lacey, it's typically not until the allergies have been a problem, but that's a different story for a different day. If you're a sufferer, you know We have had a little bit of color in Oklahoma. By the time we get to early November, that is typically when we peak across the Sooner State. As far as visibility goes, you'll notice a little light fog. Visibility at the airport just dropped to 4 miles, so it's becoming a little bit more dense. Now, that's not enough that you are necessarily going to be impacted on the roadways, but you'll notice that in the air, and we're dry up and down the plains. Lack of precip is going to become a problem. 54 in North Platte. It's 46 in Bismarck, 60s and low 70s down into Texas. Much warmer, and that air mass in Texas, that's what's riding up over Oklahoma. Our Lucky Star Sky Cam network, our Blanchard cam, also noticing a little light fog. 64 degrees is the temp, and really that blanket of fog is possible in all the low-lying areas. Could become more dense through the morning. Out west, where winds are still calm along I-40, you get into Beckham County, and there will be places where there is thick fog for sure. Down into Mangum, down into Hollis, and then also Seminole, winds are extremely light. Kingfisher, winds are very light. Temps now, they're in the 50s to the north, 57 in Blackwell. It's at 57 in Harper County, up in Buffalo, 60 in Clinton. We're talking mid-upper 80s for highs. Yesterday, a lot of 70s. Now, the air is still fairly dry. Even though we have a south wind, it's not like that rich Gulf moisture is coming in today, so no heat index, but still warm. And if you're headed to downtown, the Big Thunder game is this evening. Tip-off is at 7. We will be in the 70s as you're heading in, and then we'll be falling into the low 70s by the time that game is over. Temperatures across the state, taking the kiddos to school, low 60s, and just a warm afternoon. And warm, hot conditions, that's the trend all the way through the weekend. We get a little bit of relief on Monday and Tuesday. A weak front moves in from the north. You'll notice the reds and the oranges are turning more into kind of the yellows, so slightly cooler temps in the low levels. And tropical moisture from a few tropical systems down over the Pacific rides up over Oklahoma. Could provide some rain. Right now, 30% is the best we can do currently. But we'll update you through the weekend for that. Next better opportunity will be the end of next week into that upcoming weekend. So 17th, 18th, and 19th of October, storm chances go up. And if that scenario were to play out, we turn cooler on the backside with a cold front. But ahead of that front, we may have a wind, a hail, and even a tornado threat. So we're watching that. That is way down the road. That's like the very end. Fall break, and then temperatures are pretty close to average beyond that. Lows tonight down into the 50s and 60s, so that's your Friday morning. Friday afternoon, upper 80s, some low 90s. It'll be hot. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s and low 90s Saturday, and Saturday again, the ball game's taking place. By Sunday, the winds pick up. It'll be a hot, windy day. Be careful. Fire danger starts to creep back in. You need to be thinking about it because of how dry we are, how hot we will be, and anytime you start to pick up the wind this time of year, that can become a problem. It's not extreme, nothing like that. Upper 80s and then slightly cooler as we head into your Monday and Tuesday. There's your rain chances. That next storm arrives Friday or Saturday, just off the 9-day forecast. Lisa, over to you.
Lacey, thank you. A packed agenda to greet the new state superintendent, Lyndall Fields, at his first Board of Education meeting this morning. More than 30 teachers' licenses are in limbo. On the list, including high-profile murder suspect and former Oklahoma teacher Andrew McGann. Now, he's charged with capital murder in connection to the deaths of 2 people at an Arkansas state park. Also on the list, former McAllister football coach Forrest Mazie, who's charged with embezzling from the district. Last year, Mazie pleaded no contest for pointing a gun at another coach. So that meeting starts at 9:30 this morning, a big agenda to get through. We'll be bringing you live updates throughout the day.
Your time now 6:50. Let's get over to meteorologist Megan Gold. She's watching the roads for us and traffic. Any crashes right now, Megan?
It's still just that one crash down on the southwest side, on the east side of Will Rogers. That's going to be in the eastbound lanes of I-44, so really headed northbound at 104th Street. This is our OCCC camera. I can't zoom in any more than this, but notice just really kind of slow going there, the headlights that you're seeing, and we are getting a crew there to that scene to kind of see what's going on. So just a heads up, if you're traveling there in the eastbound lanes of I-44, I would give yourself a little bit of extra time. Starting to see additional backups a little farther to the north at 96th Street. Also, I-35 in the northbound lane, always a troublesome spot this time of morning. That is very slow going as well. Speeds down to about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So extra time out the door. Just be safe as you hit the roads. We'll have more news and more weather and more traffic. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, coming up on the Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages Porch, Oktoberfest starts tonight at the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds. This is a big one. They want everyone there. You can get authentic German atmosphere food and beer. We have a preview coming up at 9 a.m.
Those of you that seem to be real concerned, which I appreciate, and I appreciate your prayers because I'm a person of faith. I can always use the prayers for anything and everything, but I want you to know that I'm okay.
Yeah, I was so glad to hear that. Dolly Parton clearing things up for us this morning. Her sister asked fans to pray for her after she postponed a Las Vegas concert over some health concerns, and it made fans think that she was dying. Well, yesterday she posted this video saying she's in good health, and she thanked fans for all the prayers. Just love Dolly Parton.
Well, people didn't know, and the sister said, I spent all night praying, and it made you think dire straits. And so Dolly even said, today is October 8th. She even gave the date.
And she said
Here's
she's
the
not
newspaper.
She's not AI. She was very clear about that.
I'm not AI. I had my camera guy move around so you could see me. So we're just glad Dolly's okay.
The reaction is because she's like the one person in the world that everybody universally just loves.
Yeah, I know. So she's good. But she said, I could always use prayers.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, amen.
While her husband was sick, she wasn't taking the best care of herself, and now she's got things she's got to take care of. But she's good to go.
We love you, Dolly.
Happy to see that.
There you go.
Warm today. That's the forecast.
All right, we'll see you back here at 7:26 with updates. Enjoy the day.